Oh, that's ominous. Background's all orange. There's a line of these things I've been assuming are flames so far. And it's all on the walls everywhere. And she was shouting for her mother, and her mother's not here. Almost like something was on a fire and no one was there. Like a house fire where they can't find their parents. Granted, I've been more dramatic in the past than the reality turned out to be. Feeling of neglect expands there. There's some sense of a fire, as far as I can tell. And the mom's watching television. Seems to be the implication here, the big obvious staticky screen. That's the mom trying to get some peace and quiet and watch television on her own. Makes me wonder if it was after the divorce. And it was just the mom raising them. She never had time to herself. And there's just perpetually so much expected of you. After all, mothers have to be perfect, don't they? Even though they often aren't and often can't be, because they're humans. Look at that suspension bridge back there. There's definitely a heavy emphasis on red and orange everywhere. Oh look, this thing follows me. I don't think I can fall in this hole. I think it follows me everywhere. That's an interesting touch. It's like there's no gap for real because this thing follows me perfectly. Gotta escape the flames. Hey, we're on the bridge. Kinda wanted to look at this up close anyway. Can I walk on this? Nope. Not like that, I can't. Let's try to be a little bit more nuanced here. There we go. The edge guard helps you not fall off, but you have to actually grapple onto the right spot or it won't know what you're going for. Maybe I need to run to jump higher? Nope. I don't think that does what I want it to do. Wow, that's a freaky visual. Especially that close. Especially that close. Can I make that jump? Curious to see if I can go up here. Oh, not if I fall off that soon. Okay, I jumped up a second ago. Yep. There we go. It's like you need to jump early a little bit, and it kind of works. I don't know, I'm not really locking on, which makes me think I'm not supposed to be up there. Can I climb up you? Nope. Yeah, going up here seems pretty unintentional because the platforming doesn't quite lock on. On we go then. That looks ladder-like. I'm curious. I can't seem to climb while the fire persists, though. Yep, doesn't seem like an option. It's getting too clingy. Oh, what if the hazards block specific areas? That would mean that if a hazard makes it impossible to climb or jump on something, that would mean that if you did that one first, perhaps, then you'd gain access to different paths. Maybe not, though. Last time I thought this, it was a level where that hazard was resolved at that end of that level, which would mean that that doesn't work then, because you get a catch-22 situation. So maybe I'm full of it. I like to interpret things, damn it. Just go along with it. They hit a staircase in the tall grass. Whoa, background. Look at that visual. Ooh, oddly, it reminds me of the end of Dark Souls 3 of all games, actually. I won't say why. people that haven't played it yet, but if you've seen the end of Dark Souls 3, you might know what I mean. It's a bit of an abstract reference in this case, but I think it's apt. Hop, hop, hop. Please don't push me off. It's gonna push me off. Our first ever moving hazards. Alright. Time our jumps accordingly. Oh god. Danger. Oh, there's no fire stop. The color of the waves or whatever below us made me think the fire was gonna stop me. It seems I just have to run for it and we're good. Up, up, hop, hop, hop. I love that that works. Defeat it. So, someone might be frustrated by my lack of variety here, but I do like focusing on the jump specifically because it seems to be the most efficient way to move through these areas. Cause you can use 3 different dance moves, I think. There might be more I've missed or something, but of those 3 dance moves, the one that's fastest is definitely the one where you get to jump forward. There we go. Oh. That's always seemed like a... Oh, no. That's always seemed like a kind of impressive move, too. The one where they go launching forward like that. Go vaulting. Gotcha. Where to go next? Oh, there we go. Oh. Okay. Perspective threw me for a second there. I thought we were in trouble. I'm glad all these paper airplanes are on our team, because we've encountered a lot of them in this level. There would be quite a bit of slowdown, like the tinsel in the very first level we played being an ever-present force. Hop. Hop. Onwards! Oh, it's like it's trying to block me. Like it doesn't want me going through. Oh, wow. There's a little bit of metaphor, huh? That's interesting sort of metaphor through gameplay, of the idea of being blocked from your goal in such an explicit manner. It perfectly blocks you no matter where you go, so you have to take the ladder over here. You have to compromise, basically. Which is dark. Oh no, a lot's darker. That's a whole lot darker. Let's try climbing down now, instead. Oh no. Oh, it's gonna follow me down here. Oh, no, it can't sink as low as me. Take that as a moral, children. If something gets in your way, just sink to lower levels of depravity and you'll get past it. No big deal. Oh, am I gonna latch onto these guys' gravity? Yes, I am. Oh, but not those. You tricked me. Oh, here we go. Now I got the timing. I timed that one just right, so we got through it. Kind of disappointed that the wall didn't sink, didn't attach gravity too, the way that the platforms between were. But that's fine. I do want to know what the fire is. I'm trying to think of the last time I encountered that kind of a mechanic where a wall was blocking me so specifically, and I think it was Antechamber, actually. That was a game that had a lot of weirdly living environment stuff going on around you in a very abstract way. That's actually a relatively fitting thing to look at alongside this game, except for the part where it's very much a puzzle game and not just a walk around and look at the pretty game. Oh man. If we saw this earlier on, it definitely paints the idea that the angry shouting creature isn't just angry and shouting. Or at least it's not the antagonist necessarily. Because right there we have the one that we've learned is probably my brother, seemingly getting into something and maybe burning their hand, I want to say, like on the stove perhaps, and then the father being alerted to it while I was elsewhere, or maybe even, well, I must have witnessed if it's part of my memory, and then the mother was off just trying to have time to herself. So probably not after the divorce in this case then, if they're all in one place. But she was neglecting her children because at some point you almost have to in a weird way. I can just almost imagine logistically, like at some point you take a moment for yourself, and then when you finally have a moment for yourself, that's when your kids really screw themselves up and immediately start getting themselves burned or something. Am I going backwards now? Am I going backwards now? Oh crap. I thought I was checking out a different path, but I think I actually managed to go backwards. I mean, I'm no parent, but it just seems like whenever it's conceptualized or even shown in a film or a show, like, even when you're constantly trying to be a good parent, there's just moments where you trip up. You look away for a moment and then suddenly your kid's gone, or your kid's putting their hand in something dangerous. I totally just turned around and walked back the way I came, didn't I? My bad. Wait, but this is here again. But the ladder's gone? Oh, I'm on the other side now. I got past it. There we go. That pretty much leaves this as being the way forward then. Parents always seem like they've got to just be like, if they make it through the process, it feels like they've just got to be the most incredibly patient people. Because it's not just about being patient with somebody, it's about being patient with somebody basically for what seems like forever. Because it's going to keep going on and on and on and on and on for so long you can't even comprehend anymore. I just looped all the way around. There wasn't much point to it because this green path seems to be the only way through. But it was a cool visual. The sensation's crazy. Hopefully I haven't accidentally turned around though. I'm currently just hoping I'm not accidentally going backwards again. Ta-da! Did I go backwards? Is that exactly what happened? That's exactly what happened. That's what I get. I've gotten turned around twice in this level. Maybe that's just the metaphor being portrayed by the level, you never know. Alright, let's follow the path exactly and not go looping around on the ceiling, making us lose track of which way's forward and backwards. I really hope I'm right. The fact that the collectibles seem to start in the middle of the hallway when I remember picking up only a part of them makes me think that I was revisiting the hallway I was in before. Oh yeah. The sudden reappearance of collectibles definitely seals the deal here. There we go. Got turned around twice in one room, basically. Nailed it! A+ Explorer. To be fair, it's all abstract. Angry Daddy. We figured out who you are by now. You're Angry Shouty Daddy. Apparently, this character has the opposite of a Freudian complex. Oh. Nope. No fire for me. I'll escape. What's our final revelation? I believe it's the final one. Unless there's actually a last level with its own revelation. The hallway would make sense for that. Yep. Careful. Got him. We barely have platforms anymore. Everything's just kind of disheveled and collapsing in every direction. Nothing holds it all together anymore. Whoa, hello. How's that for an environmental detail, huh? Hey, it's our weird friendly plants. Kind of want to run through them just to reinforce the idea that they don't fight us anymore. It looks like they just disappear when I approach them now, and that's the change. Okay. That's one way to make them friendly. Everything else is... Wow, look at that, everything reshuffle itself. It's crazy. Everything else is turned white, but that stuff was already white, so their response was to make it every color, basically. Fitting enough when it is a form of life. I think most of the other environmental ones have been more inanimate. And we mostly just have beads and... Yeah, we pretty much just have beads and paper planes to go at for that. Oh, it says 4 now. What if they represent the collectibles? Like an Abzu. Maybe those are the collectibles you did or didn't collect along the way. Interesting. As cute as it can be, I think this kind of game is kind of made less enjoyable by the collectible hunting at times. I kind of prefer the one and done, let's go see what happens experience. Is this I think it's family cooking. Oh, dinner table probably. Oh, maybe just crafts? No, that looks like dinner table. Did the brother burn himself cooking? Oh no. The brother picked up the pot of soup and spilled it on himself? Is that why his representation in the game is weirdly asymmetrical? Did he like scar his body with burns? Or am I way more morbid than this game actually is? Anything's possible. And that's why he was slumped back. The dad was asleep reading a book. Is the mom watching a television or something in the middle of the room? I don't actually see a television, to be honest. Oh, there it is. Yep. She was watching television, and then one startling moment of the kid ruining the moment and burning themselves by grabbing a pot on the stove. There's a lesson you learn exactly once. Oh yeah, that's her line of sight. She's looking right here as it all goes wrong. I doubt the television's actually static. It's probably because of the way that these are represented as like fractured and partial and incomplete memories. It means that it's probably just that she didn't know what was on the television besides it being on, so it's represented as just being a television in static. Let us go! You can't hold me back anymore. You can notice that every time I do a dance move, the ribbon actually increases in radius. It's actually a little jarring, because it doesn't do it fluidly. Wow. This was one of the first ones I picked up, that I could have picked up. Like, chronologically in the book, this one was pretty early. But I did it last, and it kind of has an extra punch. Because we've had different conceptions about what these characters were up until now. And getting this far in the game, and then having the image of the seemingly villainous character holding up the seemingly virtuous character and basically rescuing them in their time of pain shows you sort of the disjointed image you have of parenthood. Because, like, that's the thing, is when you're a kid, your parents are simultaneously your heroes and your villains at the same time. They represent everything you aren't, and they represent safety, and they represent guidance and all these things, but they also represent restriction and things you can't do and things you aren't allowed to do. They're the number one person in your life that'll probably tell you no and stop you from doing things and scold you for doing things. Or until maybe later in life, at least. And so it's this paradox almost where they feel like they're all the good and the bad in the world. And so that's why we have this complicated, mixed image of somebody who is this person that's screaming at you, and they seem to be the villain of everything. The dad is introduced in this game as being the monster that's destroying the kingdom being the collapsing marriage. But then one of our final images is the father rescuing the son from danger, or at least taking charge of them after the danger's already taken part and already happened. Oh. Why is she grabbing him at the same time? Is his face scarred? It's a little hard to make out for sure because of the details. He's not missing an ear. I kind of thought the scarring might be so bad that he was literally missing an ear from the burn, because he is missing an ear on his weird representation. Whoa, whoa! How's that for a visual glitch? I pressed the joystick while she was still in her getting up animation and the book floated away for a moment. Immersion lost. Unsubscribe. This is awfully peaceful. Look at that sunset. It's a beautiful color. It actually looks water painted. She's visiting her father as a grown woman who's pregnant and everything. Maybe for the first time. Maybe this will be her growing as an adult. As a child, you have all these simplified and conflicting images, but as oh look, I'm not surfing. I'm just running on it this time because I'm a different person. Maybe she's gonna be forgiving her father because now, as an adult, she can recontextualize all of his behavior and all that he's done. Is that him climbing a tower? Oh, that was the wife fighting the husband, wasn't it? And now that she's grown as an adult, she can see all the good and the bad and all the ways that he maybe tried and struggled. And maybe she's finally reconciling the relationship. Now that's an answer that's a whole lot harder to forgive. Can I go through the window? I think I might have to take the stairs. Oh, the front door. Oh, they have you choose between going to your father or just leaving. Oh, how's that for a choice? That's brutal. I mean, it's honestly, it's hard to forgive him. It's hard to accept the idea of just leaving your family, even when things were, if things were tough, just walking out on both your kids. But at the same time, should you face them? Or after all these years, are you better off not facing them at all and not bringing them back into your life because they are the ones that left in the first place and they've been gone for so long that they're not even relevant to you anymore and you don't have the same feelings anymore? And maybe it's just going to complicate things and open old wounds. Or maybe you can build bridges and sort of fix things even though they could never fix what they did. It's gonna end right there, isn't it? Of course it will. The outcome's not important, it's the decision you made. Which side did you pick? There we go. There's the credits. Alright guys, this has been Bound. A pretty beautiful little artsy game that has a actually relatively explicit story. A lot of the games we encounter like this are so artsy and vague, and artsy is probably not even the right word for it, but just like they're either metaphorical or they have evocative imagery and don't explicitly explain what it means. I would say like the games like Abzu and Journey are a little more metaphorical and weird and abstract, and you have to piece together what you're trying to go for, whereas a game like Inside is more like, hey, there's very explicit stuff happening in front of you and you can very clearly tell what it is, but telling what the overall story is and the meaning behind everything is harder to say. In this game's case, the levels and the representation of everything is abstract, but you're able to piece together exactly what's going on with each individual scene and what it all means in an ongoing developing story, which is told non-linearly because memories are jumbled that way anyway, but it leads to a definitive ending, and it leads to an unexpectedly meaningful decision at the end. This is a cool game. This is a neat little project. The gameplay's a little iffy, where it's like, we're just kind of hopping around, it's Dreamscape, well, whatever. There's not much to think about, you kind of just mash buttons when it's time to dance through a problem, and otherwise you're just doing basic platforming. But it's pretty, and they for the length of the game, they mix up exactly what you're doing with your platforming often enough for it to feel fresh and not get boring, which admittedly it's hard to get boring when your game's only a few hours long. But hey, this is a trend that I'd honestly be happy to see more of. I enjoy this trend that's been set that's been popularized at least by Journey, and has now been followed up with twice within a month between Abzu and this game, Bound. And I'd like to see more people handle games like this. I like little afternoon games. Beautiful, pretty little stories. Some people will say they're overpriced because they can cost about $20 and they're often only a few hours long, so people that have a bad time to money ratio can get bothered by that, and I won't speak for how much money you have and so on and so forth, but I personally, because I play a lot of RPGs, every game is so long, so frankly I never have the issue of like, oh no, when will I have time? How will I fill this time is never the problem I have, because all the games I play are so long that it's like, oh no, when will I ever finish games ever? So, with $60 purchases that I make that last 100 hours, I'm not personally too bothered by whether or not something's going to be over in an afternoon. And I'm thankful for the experience. Thanks for watching like always, guys, and I'll see you next time.